Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-8000.
Ocala Business Leaders Incorporated is a group of independent local firms providing a wide range of quality goods and services. Each firm strives to maintain the highest level of professional integrity and 100% customer satisfaction. When you're looking for goods and services, call a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, and we are confident you will be pleased with the results. If you're interested in becoming a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, join us at the Ocala Municipal Golf Course, 3130 East Silver Springs Boulevard, any Wednesday at 6:30 a.m., and enjoy a breakfast on us. For more information, check OcalaBusinessLeaders.com.
Think you know Dex Imaging? Think again. In the office, streamlining communications. In the field, delivering top-notch service, enhancing productivity and reducing downtime. In the data center, a part of the growing digital document revolution. In the world of business, supporting entrepreneurs and helping companies grow. In the forefront of technology, developing cutting-edge document management solutions. So if you think you know Dex Imaging, you don't know Dex.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
If you're thinking about a yard do-over for the spring, the time to start is right now. And that's where Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery in Ocala really shines. For just a tune-up or a total redo, Bob Wine's experts can do it all for a surprisingly low price, and they'll do it on time. Bring your ideas. Better yet, bring your photos, and we'll get started right away. And by the way, check this week's big colorful ad for some unbeatable buys like these. Gorgeous African iris, just $3.99. Foxtail fern, only $8.99. And they've got a gigantic selection of easy care drift roses, many colors, just $22.99. By all means, don't miss the Camellia Show Spectacular daily, every day now until April. It's all right now at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. They're open daily till 4, Saturdays till 3, right there in the same blooming place since 1952.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
Two Men in a Truck.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talk. On a Thursday, Galen Unall from Life South joins us. She does every day, brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, Penn Flooring, and JustShipped.net. Galen, we talked football on the prep side of National Signing Day.
Yep.
Kids in Marion County that did a great job, along with their coaches and their parents, getting to their college careers. But now let's turn to the dirty side of football. And this class action lawsuit filed by Brian Flores against the NFL, the Miami Dolphins, I believe I don't know all the teams he named. He named a few teams. I think the Redskins were involved or something. I mean, the Washington football, the Commanders, whatever their team name is. But the Giants, I think, were part of this. But Brian Brian Flores, when I first saw this, I go,
Broncos.
We had Broncos. When I first saw this, I go, it's not going to be much to this. But this thing's starting to grow legs now. And now there's a claim by Brian Flores that the Miami Dolphins ownership group, the owners of the Miami Dolphins, offered him $100,000 bonus checks a game to throw football games so they could get the number 1 draft pick. I mean, you start throwing football games or trying to throw football games, that messes with the integrity of the Shield. That's a problem in my eyes. And I know it happens. I know it happens, but to have it actually on, to have it out like this, I know teams tank to try to get first-round picks. I know that happens, but they don't publicly say it, so there's deniability. This could be dirty, dirty laundry that gets aired out and could be a huge, huge deal about the integrity of the game.
Oh, this is going to be ugly, and it goes deeper than.
There's gambling implications and everything.
Well, and that's Ross, who's the owner and the one who apparently. Now again, there's no proof of this other than Brian Flores' word.
Right, allegedly this happened.
He said, "I'll pay you $100,000 to lose a game, to lose every game." Right, every game you lose, he gets $100,000. Because this was 2 years ago, and they wanted Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
So, obviously Brian Flores didn't do that. Now he gets fired, and everybody was wondering, why would you fire this guy? Right? Why would you fire a guy who finished the season so strong?
Well, they said they fired him. The official word was that they made a choice between the head coach and their quarterback, and they went with Tua instead of Brian Flores.
No, and I get it. I don't know how. I don't think that's very true. But Ross is heavily invested in several different gambling aspects. He's like a silent partner of one of the fantasy league things.
The stadium is named the Hard Rock Stadium.
Right, and then he's also invested in the Hard Rock casinos. He's also heavily invested in media, the F1 race that's coming to Miami. This is a big deal. I went to son with his college at Flagler.
You went to college with his son, not you. You didn't go with his son. Yeah. You didn't go with his son to. You said that back.
Oh, right. I got and his son was a dweeb, and I tried really hard to like him because we all knew who his dad was, and me being in sports media, I just couldn't do it. That tells you everything. I couldn't.
That's all you need to know.
We all have a price. Yeah, but and again, this is big. And now Hugh Jackson from the Bengals came out and said, "Yeah, my owner offered me the exact same thing," and they ended up getting Joe Burrow, but he only got paid $50,000 a game to lose, and apparently he did it. And that's,
why would you come out and publicly admit that?
Well, he's not. He's never getting a head coaching job again, right? He's just not. He knows it, and so he might as well look. This is a problem, and by the way, I think we're going to hear more and more of this starting to come out. You have ripped the scab off. It's not even a scab. You've just opened up a wound, right? This is going to get ugly, and all of this kind of stuff is going to come out, because you look at, the only team that's going to be safe in this is the Detroit Lions, because they were like, gosh, we should have done that. We're just not smart enough to do that.
Here's the thing. The NFL tried for a very long time to stay separate from gambling. But 3 or 4 years ago, they went all in, to use a gambling term. The Raiders moved to Las Vegas. They entered into agreements with DraftKings, and they entered into agreements with the other. I forget the other one besides DraftKings. There's another fantasy league type deal besides DraftKings. They entered into agreements with them. They got sports books. They're doing all these Caesars commercials with Peyton Manning and Eli Manning and Archie Manning. I mean, the dad, and Cooper. They're doing all these Caesars commercials with J.B. Smoove and everything. They went all in on gambling, and now for this to happen, that teams may be throwing football games to get first-round draft picks. Let me tell you something. I may or may not, allegedly, putting money on football games on a regular basis? You know, I may or may not. You never know.
Well, I do. We talk about it all the time. I do.
You never know.
But I don't care.
But this now, I mean, I want some of my money back because if they're throwing games on purpose, the integrity of gambling is being questioned. Vegas, all those. I need money back.
Well, this could be, and this isn't hyperbole. This could be as big as the Black Sox scandal.
100% it could be.
This could potentially be the Black Sox scandal, right? If you remember, the NBA kind of went through it with the official that was throwing games.
Tim Donaghy.
He swept that under the regs.
Tim Donaghy.
Under the rug, right? That I was like, when I read that, I'm like, wow, they just covered that up, and none of the media covered it. Now, the question will be, will the media that covers the NFL, and they're so intertwined with one another, and they're all owned by ESPN or Fox, right, or CBS, they're all owned by these rich owners. You wonder if it'll get covered up. If this will just go away, are they going to just pay Flores silent money? And the NFL may not even mention it. They've done that before. How long did it take before they even mentioned CTE?
Yeah.
Decades.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
I think this is a real problem.
Is it easier to throw games in football than any other of the four major sports?
No. I think basketball's the easiest.
Well, you get in that pile and fumble a football. It's pretty easy to fumble a football or do something like that.
No, I'm talking about from a coach's standpoint.
Oh, from a coach's standpoint. Yeah. Who you put it, it's probably easier to.
Yeah, because his options are, do we go for it here, or do we kick a field goal, or do we go for two, or you know what I mean? Yeah.
And point shaving in basketball is, just you put a couple clunkers
you need one
in.
Guy.
Yeah.
No, you need one guy.
Right.
Right. You call a timeout, or it's not difficult. You get one official.
Tim Donaghy showed it. Tim Donaghy showed it. One official.
Yeah. We have no idea, and they have, and he was a top-level official that they've just destroyed.
He was thought of as one of the best officials in the game at the time.
Right. It's unbelievable. Again, this is a Black Sox, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how much more info comes out and how quickly they start just destroying these coaches that come out. I still believe Flores will get another offer. I think he'll end up being the coach. I just do. I think he's too talented and it's got too good of a resume.
Well, he released a statement yesterday that says, even if I get hired, I'm not dropping my case.
Yeah. No, he's not. And good for him. Show some integrity. And by the way, by him doing that, it gives him, right? So, I'm sure.
You're breaking up a little bit. You must be going into the office or something. I don't know, because you're not.
No, I was just saying I was shocked, just absolutely shocked by all of it.
Yeah, it to me, it started out as, is this just a way that they're going to finally give the Rooney Rule some teeth? Is that what's going on here? Because the Rooney Rule, we can all agree, the Rooney Rule is a ceremonial thing that is put in place. I know why it's put in place, but it's not used properly the way it was designed to be used. It's, we see that when Bill Belichick congratulated him on a job because he was congratulating the wrong Brian on the job because the Giants had already decided on going with the other Brian before they even interviewed Brian Flores. So to satisfy the Rooney Rule. So they were just satisfying the rule. They had no intention of ever hiring Brian Flores. The Giants can say that's not true, but how did Bill Belichick know that somebody had been hired already if they really thought they were going to interview Brian Flores on the up and up? So I thought this was going to be a referendum on the Rooney Rule and giving it more teeth. Well, that's not – look, the NFL would love it to be about the Rooney Rule because they don't want it to be about gambling and throwing football games.
Well, I think the Rooney Rule has always been a problem. It's never been.
It's a ridiculous rule the way it's set up.
All it is, it's tokenism.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. Tokenism.
And that to me is terrible.
Sure. And everybody points to, oh, well, you would never have Mike Tomlin. That's not true. Mike Tomlin was earmarked for that job before Cowher left.
100%. That's who Cowher wanted. That's who the ownership wanted. Mike Tomlin was getting that job.
Correct. And he earned it. He's done a good job.
Now, Stephen Ross he came out fired now. The owner of the Miami Dolphins. he goes, with regards to the allegations made by Brian Flores, I'm a man of honor and integrity and cannot let them stand without responding. I take great personal exception to these malicious attacks. The truth must be known. His allegations are false, malicious, defamatory. We understand there are media reports stating the NFL intends to investigate his claims. We will cooperate fully. I welcome the investigation. I'm eager to defend my personal integrity and the integrity of values of the Miami Dolphin organization from the baseless, unfair, and disparaging claims. So Ross didn't mix any words. He says Brian Flores is a liar. That's basically what he said.
Yep. And what's he supposed to do? I mean, that's his only option. So this is a problem, though. And if they both fight it, it won't go away anytime soon.
Well, and that's the thing.
It's going to be interesting.
If these claims are to be true, that Ross actually offered to pay him to lose, that once again, that's the integrity of the Shield that is at stake. Then, I mean, there's a trust. We have a trust, that games are played fairly and that games are played honestly, and that it's not. Look, if we wanted predetermined games, the XFL would have succeeded. Vince McMahon would have been good because, sports entertainment. If we wanted fixed games, we'd still do quiz show, and there wouldn't be the integrity and the stringent rules that face game shows like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune and everything. Integrity is everything. It's all you got to stand on. And if this can be proven, the NFL could, everybody thought the NFL would keep rising. This could be a situation where the NFL, its popularity and all because of its integrity being questioned, just like you said with the Black Sox, it could be something that tarnishes the NFL and its shield for a very long time.
Again, we need to see how deep it goes. Is it true, right? We may never know if it's truly true, whatever truth is, right? This could be really ugly. This could be really, 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 really ugly.
I mean, if you
could be fun to watch.
If the Cincinnati Bengal head coach,
if this, thank God, this isn't with the Buccaneers or the Falcons, because one of us would be apologizing like there's no tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Well, look, we did what they had to do to get the number 1 draft pick. It's Trevor Lawrence. What do you want us to do?
You want to continue to be the Falcons and the Buccaneers?
What do you
Tom
want
Brady's not going to fall from the sky.
But the thing is, if there is any chance that there's paperwork that hooks the $50,000 payments to the Cincinnati Bengals head coach, that he can say, see, here's a $50,000 payment, here's another one. Here's another $50,000 payment. Or there's any kind of paperwork that Flores got paid for one game and then decided, no, I can't do this, and turned that. To me, perception is reality. And if the fan base sees, even if they can say, no, this $50,000 wasn't for that, here's a legitimate reason. The fan base is going to say, he said he got $50,000 to throw games. There's proof that he got $50,000 checks put in his bank account. He threw football games. I don't care what he says. And perception then becomes reality, whether it actually is reality or not.
Correct. And again, let's play this out. Let's say it's true. The Miami Dolphins will be sold. The NFL will force them to sell it.
Yes.
Right? I mean, they have forced owners to sell because of supposed racial things they did for apartment complexes, much less telling your coach to throw
football games. Yes.
This is going to be ugly. This is going to be a real ugly situation.
Good thing Kennesaw Mountain Land is sitting alive. He'd just take the franchise and cancel it, say the Dolphins are no longer a franchise.
Yeah. And that's another piece of this. I think Goodell's arguably the worst commissioner in the history of the world.
Why would you say arguably?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
He's the worst. When
Yeah,
you're
I
worse
don't
than
know.
when you're
Vince
worse than
McMahon-
Bud.
Vince McMahon. No,
Yeah.
Vince McMahon was pretty terrible.
When you're but of the major four sports, when you're worse than Bud Selig, that says something.
Yeah, I just not a yeah. And again, and he handles all of these on the owner side of things. From whether it's Deflategate, he did it because, well, we have to do something, right? That's basically what he said. You look at Bountygate, how poorly he handled Bountygate. There's been all of these issues. What he's really good at is negotiating TV contracts.
He makes the owners a lot of money. That's why they love him. All the other stuff is peripheral to them. He makes them a lot of money through TV.
That's right. He's the owner's boy, too.
He
That's
is.
his job. So
And Demarius Smith
if this
Smith isn't much away from being the owner's boy.
No.
And he's head of the players union.
Well, again, they're going to do whatever is in the best interest of themselves, right? So I have a feeling the commissioner's gonna seal the records or whatever, or if they know that Stephen Ross is dead to rights, they're going to come out and absolutely destroy this human being, and the team will be sold, because what the NFL will be is like, we've removed him from ownership.
There was a cancer among us, and we removed it from yeah.
And they're going to force him to sell. And by the way, if that happens, we know what the Denver Broncos are going.
Oh, he'll get $5 billion for the Miami Dolphins.
Because he owns the stadium,
right?
I mean, and so he could remain the owner of the stadium, which would be weird. They're either going to let it go or they're going to destroy Stephen Ross.
Yeah, well, the NFL's already issued a blanket denial of
Marino,
all the claims.
Dan Marino is, they have to initially. And then Dan Marino is going to be part of the ownership group, and the Miami Dolphins will continue to be terrible.
Well, it's not
nothing wrong with that.
Not upsetting me a bit. I'm a Falcons fan because I grew up hating the Dolphins, so it doesn't bother me a bit.
Look, the state of Florida may not have a winning football team. Maybe UCF for the next 5 years.
Maybe the Jags turn it around. Maybe the Jags turn it around with Trevor Lawrence.
I saw this signing class. I was like, "Ooh, that's not very good for Florida. Oh, that's not very good." Welcome to pain.
Well, we all go through it. It's just so happened the University of Florida has gone through it in 3-year increments. About every 4th year, they fire a head coach and start over again. So it's been painful for a while here since the guy that destroyed the Jacksonville Jaguars left as head coach. That's how long it's been painful here.
Sure.
He
absolutely.
didn't feel it was enough to ruin the University of Florida program before he left. Now he went and ruined the Jacksonville Jaguar program as well.
That's right. Florida State finished 19th or 20th, and they say Florida didn't rank that high.
No, it was like 40.
I saw one report.
Wasn't it like 31
like
or 32? Was it that far? I thought it was like 38, something like that.
I mean, I'll pull it up. It wasn't good. It was like, oh, that's not good at all. That's not good. But again, you get one gym out of there, and they'll be fine. They'll be fine. Oh, they're saying they're 19th. I don't believe it, but okay.
Well, all those are subjective. Depending on what one you go look at, it could all change because they all have their own 5 stars. And,
Yeah, there's a couple of these kids I've seen play.
But you're right. The big 3 in Florida aren't going to be top 20 material for
Nope.
For a while.
Nope.
For a while.
Nope.
And when do we start saying that the big 3 becomes the big 4 because UCF is better than all the other 3?
Well, UCF didn't have a great signing day either. So I don't know what their class ranking was, but it's
yeah, but they don't have to have a great signing day like the other 3 because of what they play in. Although they are moving to they're moving to the Big 12. Is it next year? 2 years from now, they're moving to the Big 12.
I don't know.
It's when Texas and Oklahoma, the year Texas and Oklahoma come to the SEC, they're going to the Big 12.
Well, I'll tell you a kid, the kid from Buchholz, Quan Lee. I've seen him play. It seems like every time you come to Buchholz, he catches 6 touchdowns. But he was only a 3-star. I don't know how in the world they do these stars. But he went to UCF, and I think he's probably the stud of that group. And Jackson State, did you see their rankings?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. People are wanting to go to play. They want to go play for Coach Prime. And the historically black colleges are making a rebound, pal, because of the woke movement.
Well, yeah, but they did all that, and they were 114th.
Yeah, well, they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. Here's the thing.
They got a ton of transfers. See, that doesn't count transfers.
I just had a guy text me, goes
13 transfers that are 5-stars.
I just had a guy text me, says,
transfers that are 5-stars.
He says, why are you showing disrespect to Miami? We're 14th in the country. Hey, when you become relevant, before, last time Miami was relevant, we were still using VHS tapes. Calm down, tough guy. Calm down. Calm down. Okay? Relax.
And Florida State basketball's kind of come back to earth. They're struggling. They lost to Clemson last night. They should have won that game. They lost to Georgia Tech. Should have won that game. Lost to Virginia Tech. Should have won that.
What do you mean? Georgia
game.
Tech's a good basketball program when Bobby Crimmins was the coach in the 80s.
Yeah. Again, they're tough. It's tough.
It's tough being a sports fan in Florida right now. It really is. Well, unless you're a Rays fan. If you're a Rays fan, it's not tough because they perform in it every year with the best farm system in baseball. But you're not a Rays fan because you hate the stadium and refuse to go.
Yeah, that's fair. And there's no such thing as a Rays fan. Just a bandwagon fan.
No, there's a bunch of Boston and Yankee fans that go to the games, but there's not a whole lot of Rays fans. I'll give you that.
As I tell my son, you got to rush the court when you beat Duke. That will probably be the greatest sports moment in your college career. They said, "Oh, Dad, don't say that. I'm going to wherever Florida State's playing in basketball in the NCAA's."
Hey, we got.
Well, hopefully they're not in California, and I have to pay for that.
We got about 30 seconds left. Real quick, the name of the Washington football team has been issued now. It's the Commanders, the Washington Commanders. It's a very long name, but there's no shortening it because nobody's calling them the Washington Commies. Nobody's doing that. So, they're staying with the W on the helmets and everything. Why didn't they just stay the Washington football team and be done with it?
Well, the Commanders is so hard to say.
I know. I
mean, the great thing is the guy who bought all of those names is the real winner.
Yeah, because he sold it. Yeah, he real winner.
Nobody's buying the merchandise that says Commander.
Speaking of real winners, where can people that want to be winners go to donate blood today in the Bloodmobile?
Well, today's a pretty cool day. We're at North Marion High School. Haven't been there in a long time. We're really, really happy, really proud of our team of getting that blood drive, and want to thank Carol, the principal, out there.
Got about 5 seconds.
So give blood. Come to the Bloodmobile at right there on the boulevard, lifesouth.org.
We'll be back after this timeout. Thanks, Galen. Talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Russia has condemned a U.S. decision to send extra troops to Europe to support its NATO allies amid Russia posturing at the Ukraine border. Moscow said it was destructive and heightened tensions and reduced the scope for a political solution. The Pentagon said 2,000 U.S. troops would be sent from North Carolina to Poland and Germany, and a further 1,000 already in Germany would go to Romania. A Tennessee Democrat was expelled from the state Senate on Wednesday over her conviction on fraud charges. State Senator Katrina Robinson of Memphis was convicted of wire fraud last fall after being accused of stealing $600,000 from a health care school she ran to pay for her wedding and other personal expenses.
This whole process has been a very painful process, and to stand before you and go through essentially a procedural lynching in this body.
USA Radio News.
Fever is a potential sign of COVID or the flu.
And the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exergen. Exergen temporal scanners, available at Walmart and other fine retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com. That's EXERGEN.com. Exergen is changing the way the world takes temperature.
Guys, are you tired of being tired? Frustrated because it seems impossible to lose belly fat? If you're looking for a solution, Andro 400 Max, the extra strength, all-natural testosterone booster, the safe, easy, and affordable way to gain energy and lose stubborn belly fat. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. The Foreign Agricultural Service has led USDA's day-to-day efforts to break down trade barriers and generate export opportunities for U.S. agriculture through 2021. We've tried to get peanuts accepted back into the European Union. These efforts also resulted in market access for U.S. pork to India, poultry to Venezuela, and apples and pears going into Argentina, among others. In addition, FAS helped preserve access to the Mexican market for $3.6 billion in processed food products. They also worked to reopen the $46 million market for seafood in Indonesia and protect the $62 million market for beef in Egypt and preserve access to Brazil's market for $35 million of U.S. milk products. There's also a project on $7 million of beef and $9 million of seafood and ensured continued access to